Oh, buddy, how's it going, man? How are things? How you doing?
It's
How you
going.
feeling? How you living?
Thing. Oh man, that's a lot of questions I got to answer all at once. Um, Things are great. I'm on the highway right now in Santa Monica. I'm sorry if this is loud, but I've never been to California before, and I'm having a good time. And it's just been a good trip so far. You
Oh
know,
man.
I don't
Uh
know.
Owen Riegling joins us, the KX Country Clubhouse. Got a little iced coffee there, is in the sunshine. Someone said to me that we're coming up on Springsteen season, and I thought you would
Ooh,
love that. Springsteen,
I'm gonna start using
Springsteen
that.
season,
Yep,
sunshine, those warm nights, bonfires, barbecues.
100%. That's a great way to describe this time of year. Springsteen season. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, I thought you'd like
I
that
love
one. So
it.
this has been a long time coming for you and I. We met last summer. You played it was Dirks Bentley. You played the after party, rocked the after party, and so we met that night. I think you turned a couple heads that night at the Bud stage. Just walk us through this last year since that. What was that, like July last year? Walk us through the last year.
Oh man, it's it's been a wild year for sure. That was a fun night though, at the Dirks Bentley show. I had a great time at the after party, and it was good meeting you there. And I feel like I've run into you 100 times since, and it's always a great
Yeah.
time hanging with you. Um, but yeah, the year's just been sort of a whirlwind. I'm everywhere all at once. It feels like at times, and it's been awesome, to get to play my songs and meet new people and just kind of tell my story all over the country and down in Nashville, and here I am in California. I never thought my guitar would bring me somewhere like this, but I'm very grateful for it.
And I think the one thing aside from, your personality, because you're a sweet dude, and your talent, was how passionate you are about your hometown. And that was something that stuck with me. And like, because I had never heard of Mildmay, Ontario before I met Owen Riegling. And so it just the way, because you sing about Mildmay in your songs as well.
Yeah, man. Not many people know where Mildmay is. I'm glad that I'm sort of getting the word out there and people are starting to discover it. It's a great spot to grow up, and it's kind of 1,000 people. There's not a whole lot going on, but I think that's what I love about it the most. And it definitely comes through in a lot of my songs, like Old Dirt Roads.
Right.
I got a bunch of new songs coming out that definitely touch on sort of the way that I was raised and what it was like growing up in a community like May. So yeah, I mean, a lot of my stuff is just me singing about missing home or being home or the people from home. So yeah,
And you've got a song called Dan, which is coming up on the new EP as well. And that's about
yeah,
we kind of joked about it, but that's about like he's like a cab driver or something in Mile May, kind of.
yeah. He kind of he's the song I wrote with my buddies Dave Sampson and Daryl Scott, and we just wanted to write this country kind of swampy jam, and that's totally what it was. And Dave threw out the idea, like, why don't we just call this song Dan? And Daryl and I both looked at each other like, what? But we rolled with it, and it turned out to be, one of my favorite songs to play live and tell that story how I related to my hometown. And yeah, Dan the man, he's a beauty. He used to drive us around all the time in high school, and um, I think it's a fun way to kind of let people in on where I grew up and what
Right.
it's like in Mildmay. So
Um, and so how cool is it though to be able to, like, not exactly put Mile May on the map, but I mean did they give you the sign to the city or something like that?
yeah, man, I got I just picked it up the other day. We went and took it down. We brought the impact out there and took the old sign down. I wouldn't say the sign of the city. It's definitely not a city, but it was the last standing old cool
Right.
sign that they had up.
Gotcha.
So I wrote a letter to council and they approved it, and I own the sign now. So it's coming with me on tour. We're gonna put it on stage, and I'm super grateful to have the sign. It's gonna be fun to bring a little piece of my
I love
hometown
it.
with me everywhere we go.
Yeah, because you got this tour now, the Bud Light, so the Buckle Up tour.
Yes.
And this is I thought the story of I heard a story about Bud Light the Way. So you got a new song. Well, I mean, new. You wrote it a while ago, but I heard a
Mhm.
story that you mentioned something about this like 2 years ago, maybe
Yep.
being in a Bud Light commercial or something.
Yeah. I wrote the song 2 years ago in my parents' garage. The night before, I walked up from the basement fridge with a case of Bud Light. I just blurted out the words, "Let a Bud Light the way," and I was like, "That something about that I like." So I wrote it in my phone. Next day, got down to the shop and I wrote the song in like an hour while enjoying a beverage or two, a couple BLs, and
Yeah, it could be else.
um, I went up to the house and I said to my mom, I played it for her on the speaker in our living room, and I told her, "Someday, Bud Light's gonna pick this song up. It's gonna be on a commercial." I never dreamed of it, turning into a tour, my very own tour. So it's sort of just evolved, and it came naturally. The conversation between Bud Light and myself, they love the song, and they had the idea to do this small town tour, and I'm like, let's go, because this is right up my alley. I love small towns. It's what I love singing about. It's where I'm from. It's my whole identity.
Yeah.
And I love beers. So I mean,
You are
can't
the Bud
complain.
Light guy.
Yeah. So it kind of just worked out great, and now we're doing this whole run with them, going from Fort McMurray all the way back to Mildmay, ending on the
Right.
24th of May, which is the date that my new EP Bruce County comes out. Um, so it's kind of just a big full circle thing. I'm gonna end the Buckle Up tour in the town that I wrote the song that got me on the tour in the first place, and I'm very thrilled about that.
Oh man, and we talked about the whole year, and like you've had these shows, like you're playing, you played with Tyler Hubbard, you played with Chase Rice. Is there anything that you've learned along the way that's stuck with you, like maybe from one of those guys?
100%. Um, just how they carry themselves on and off the stage. Like I didn't know how to tour or what a tour even was. 5 6 months ago. October was my very first tour with Tyler Hubbard. Before that, I mean, we're just a bunch of dudes from Mildmay just showing up to venues, like pretending like we knew what we were doing. But I feel like we've sort of picked up on how to carry yourself on and off the stage, and be professional as we try real hard to be sometimes. But I mean, we aren't always, we're learning still, and it's just been a cool experience getting to also just see two different artists who've been touring for 10 years, both, and just see, where they're at in their career, and being able to pick up on them at the early stages in my career is just super cool. And, to get to call them friends and stuff now is really neat. And I'm very grateful for our experience on the road with them. And we're definitely going to take some of those lessons we learned and apply them to this tour next month. And we got a bunch of exciting announcements in the pipeline for the rest of this year and into next year as well. So I'm just super excited. It's
Where
a fun
does
time.
the All-Star game rank on your list of achievements over the last year? Like where is that on the list?
I feel like that's definitely like top three. That's
Yeah.
a cool. I feel like that might be number one, because my first time, being in Scotiabank Arena with a guitar in my hand and seeing 20,000 people, and then also just being on TV and all that stuff. Um, yeah, that might be like right up there. That might be number one, honestly. That's pretty
Well,
dang cool when I
you
look
look
back and
great
think
out
about it.
there. Can you skate?
Oh, I can skate, man. I grew up playing hockey. I
Oh, there
always
you
thought I
go.
was gonna be a
Should have got
yeah.
you
I
out there
thought
with
I was gonna
Bieber.
be 100%. I would have loved to. I had dreams of being in the NHL. I had dreams of
Didn't we all?
playing at the All Star game. I used to practice my Michigan, and I thought I was going there for sure. I never thought that I'd be there with a guitar in my hand, but I'm glad that I'm glad that I got to step foot on the ice during the skills competition. That was pretty cool.
Well, I selfishly kind of glad that you didn't take up hockey and you took up music instead, because you're pretty you got a good future in the arts, my friend. Good
Thank you
future,
very
bright
much.
future. You have a new EP coming as well. It's called Bruce
Yes,
County, and that comes, I believe it's May 24th.
May 24th. Yep. New EP, collection of songs. And basically, I mean, it's in the title of the EP, Bruce County. And the songs, we got Dan, Moonshines, Bud Light the Way, and Old Dirt Roads. All four of those songs touch on an aspect of my life growing up, and I think just the overall sonics of the EP put me at home, and I hope the listener can hear that when they're listening through the EP. So I'm excited to have the songs out. I mean, we've been playing those songs live all year, and it's been cool to watch the live crowd connect with them. But now they can, download the songs and enjoy them in their cars and wherever they listen to music. So I'm excited for that.
Just in time for Springsteen season.
That's right. Let's
Just in
go. We got
time.
a little Eric Church flair on some of the songs, specifically like the Outsiders record. I feel like we pulled from, a little bit of that, and that's one of my favorite records of all time. So I can't wait to have these songs out, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we can't wait to see you, man. The Bud Light Buckle Up tour is going. Mildmay, if you can make it out, I think it's like 2 hours from Toronto. Worth the trip, though. And your new EP, Bruce County, May 24th. Remember to stream the heck out of that. And I'm sure we're going to have some tunes right here on KX as well. So thanks so much for doing this, Owen.
Thank you, man.
Enjoy
it's
the
always
sunshine.
Good time with you. I will. Take care, man.